Thank you for visiting Luminous Velocity Studios. We are here with Say Word TV's own Troy Sweeney. Today we are going through how you make a heat rock on YouTube. Now my specialty is electronic music and a lot of different things I do. Drum and bass, dub, hip hop, some R&B, not so much. I don't have that much love in my heart, I gotta tell you to be truthful. And a couple different things. But today we're going through Reason and Ableton Live, and what I've done is I have a set of samples that I've taken from a couple years back, and I'm going to be taking them and turning them into something cohesive that we can all sit down and vibe to. So I haven't really decided what I'm going to make today yet, but what I've done so far is I have two NNXTs set up and a red rum. Now on these I have some samples that I've taken from All Men Are Brothers, ancient gung fu flick from the 1970s by Run Run Shaw and all his dudes, you know what I'm saying, and they make some of the best things, and knowing that we big fans of kung fu and the martial arts in general, and to the culture that came forth and developed into this, we're going to go in and do a little bit of work today. So what I've done so far is I've set up Reason, and I've set up a set of samples, so I've got a drum kit already set up that I'm going through live, and I haven't done any breakdowns yet. So what I'm going to do real quick is just lay down something. I'm at like 170 right now, so I guess I'm going to be making a DMB. And we'll see and figure out how we're going to get into this, alright? So the first thing I usually do is I need some timing. Now I could sit down and either lay down the timing myself, or I could sit down and merely go straight in through the red rum, as it usually makes it a little bit easier for me. Right now I have a hi-hat I'm not too happy with, so I'm going to level it up a little bit, maybe give it a little bit more length. And then all I'm going to do is lay that down as a 16. Usually I skip a bunch of things so that way we got some timing, and we're going to just use that as our basic rhythm track. Unfortunately, all I did was I had it left on the kick drum, so we've got a bunch of repetitive kicks. So what that shows is I'm going to need to go in, reselect the actual instrument that I need, and then we're going to use that. There is a feature inside of Reason, if you're not familiar, that allows you 8 and 9 separate. So we're actually going to click that, but all I'm doing is doing each individual note, basically all the odd numbers. We're using high quality interpolation, and we're going to make channel 8 and 9 exclusive. Now on channel 8, you have this really chintzy sounding hi-hat, which if I have more time I could sit down, go through, find a couple things. Well, that's a copy of the other one. But what I want is something that's long and then something that's short. So this is the long one, this is the short one. Basically the same sound, just slightly different. So now that I have 7 and 8 selected, it only works on channel 8 and 9, so what I'm going to do is just click each individuals, working at 170. So that does give us a nice half-time 16th, you know? Well, basically an eighth pretty much, or whatever the hell. It's like sometimes my count is off. So because it's DMB, we don't really need a lot. Go back in and lay down something that'll come in. Now that's just going in Reason. So on live I have some other things set up. For that I'm going to be using the Roland Phantom with some sounds that are built into that. And then I'm doing all the recording into Reason right now. But I'm just going to make a basic loop and then use that. Alright. So we have a basic rhythm track set up. Now I'm just going to sit down and do a little bit of work right now. Now I'm moving over to the Phantom. Unfortunately, my Phantom is trying to play me, which I'm not really sure why. Oh, well, that is something good. It turns the volume. I haven't really picked out what I'm going to play yet, so I'm just going to make it real quick. Okay, so I have a basic rhythm track set up. I've come over to the Phantom now. Now I have a particular song that I like a lot. I'm not going to tell you what it is. If you have a Phantom, you might know it. But basically it's a reverse sound. So I'm going to add that now into what we have already. Then I'm going to record that into live and make a loop out of it. Then I'm going to add in the samples from the Gung Fu movie and make it hot. Alright, ready? Of course, you can't mute your rhythm track when you're doing this. have some basic pieces, so now I'm going to sit down and just cut out a quick loop that I can sit down and throw behind that. I'll speed it up a little bit. Okay, so I've recorded some sections into live, and I've already cut it up and then moved it around, so now it's all timed out. Okay, so now we're back inside Reason. What I'm going to do is I'm going to record just those sections so I can use them. So sit down once again, go back in. So now we have 2 bars, basically about close to 16 bars worth of material. I'm going to make a loop point, and because I have live doing everything, I need to tell it to actually loop at that section, otherwise it'll keep recording. So now we have all that set up. I'm going to go back to 1. We've got the Young Dragon samples. I also got some fight samples from some Wushu stuff, so it should be very interesting when we put it all together. Alright. So now I have basically a finished, completed track, throwing a delay here, a little bit of things, and one of my personal favorite secret weapons, which I can control with the Ozone or O2 over here. So let's let it rock. Okay, so that's it. That's how we make a heat rock from scratch. That was live D&B here, Luminous Velocity Studios. Thank Troy Sweeney for coming through and sitting down. Wish we had more time, but sorry kids, we gotta go. Peace.